morning, or evening, or night, or midday, or lunch, or brunch. Your caveman in the cupboard here. Tuning in. I do realize I wear the same smock shirt in pretty much every video, now that I've looked back at that. Don't change a good thing. It has been a long time since I've spoken to the camera, probably my birthday footnotes. So today will just be an update on various topics, starting with most current events. Got to walk the walk last week, so to speak, and went camping. Reference to practicing what I preach, which is as much immersion in nature as possible. I took my buddy Simon, aka the Real Banana, on Instagram. We went up to the Smoky Mountains. I've never been there. Smoky Mountain National Park. We camped at Cosby Creek. Absolutely beautiful. I turned my phone off on Monday afternoon. I did not turn it back on until Friday. While there is an anxiety associated with what possibly could be happening without your attention, it is one of the most liberating acts you can undergo here in the modern 21st blue lit century. Highly recommend getting out to go camping for the obvious reconnection with nature, and furthermore, the coupled with the action of turning off your communication so you're not tethered to the tech world and the constant chatter. I will say, upon returning, I felt a noticeable sense of additional calm that was kind of like a positive hangover from the camping trip. Major highlight was I got to see snow one more time, not before I die, but at least for the season. There was freezing rain and snow Wednesday morning, some record lows up there, and we did a little hike in it, much to the chagrin of the Real Banana. And even better was the following day. We drove to Clingman's Dome, which is the high point of the park and maybe all of Tennessee, and it was probably about 30 degrees, bluebird sky, not a cloud to be seen, and you go up to the high point, and then they've got this tower you can go up. And because of the snow the day before, there was this light white covering on all the evergreens, and the view was spectacular. To have such an opportunity of the clarity of the sky, the brightness of the sun, and the white color contrasting with those blues and greens was, and I've been a lot of places, that will certainly stand out as far as a moment in time that was so beautiful. So that was certainly a highlight. Project Freedom, the 40 acres, slowly coming along. Milestone there would be, I officially have an address. So, Project Freedom will now be found at 3850 Maddox Springs Road, Caryville, Florida. I need to learn my zip code. That is very exciting. We're certainly not on an accelerated pace to get things done, but hopefully now with the address we can finish some of the permits for burns, etc. Related to that, I was notified 3 weeks ago that I have to vacate the house that I have lived in for 8.5 years. The owner wants it back. I wasn't planning on leaving for another probably 5 to 6 months when the property was more prepared. However, this is, you make plans to make God laugh, as they say, and I'm paraphrasing there. I am excited about moving. There's a lot of things to get done, so to speak. I gotta find where I'm gonna live temporarily, put all my stuff, all that kind of happy jazz. I'll probably be living in a camper somewhere in the intermittent time while we continue to work on the land, building prices, what they are and such. I welcome this stress, this challenge of having to move out with open arms and open heart, both for the opportunity to purge material things that I've accumulated over the 8.5 years, and a little pressure. You tend to work better. Certainly the day-to-day work is not slowing down, but this was gonna come, so throw that on the plate. I got to be out by the end of May. And I do think that upon settling wherever I'll be temporarily, even before the farm, I'm working on a name for the farm, I haven't come up with one. I know often in these videos I make reference to something I'm in the midst of learning. I'm kind of in the student-teacher mode where I'm getting all this great information. I'm feeling compelled to share it, even though I have far from mastered it. But I often say, I ought to make a longer video about that. And I'll probably say that today. I do think with this transition, because I'll be going somewhere more isolated and much more quiet, I'll find better pockets to work on the content, which is kind of the one of the flagship pieces of what I'd like to be presenting, not just product and sales side, but all the content that I've been downloading and learning and accumulating. And so we'll wrap up with what I have been working on most recently, or consuming, I should say, from an information standpoint. That would be Rudolf Steiner certainly has taken the bulk of my time. He is a vast treasure trove of information, and his spiritual understanding, that would be called theosophy, and then what he came out with of anthroposophy, speaks to me in a way that other, I don't know if you call it religious doctrines, but spiritual understandings, speaks to me in a way that the other ones never did. And just his take on the life after death before rebirth, I find absolutely profound. But even more importantly, in regards to the property in my life now, Steiner was the one that came up with what is now understood as biodynamic farming, which is like organic on the next level, taking into account the movements of the celestial bodies, which is very, very deep. So I'm also reading Sacred Agriculture by Dennis Klosik, if I'm pronouncing his name right. I would love to meet this man while he's still on this earth, because he has digested much of Steiner's work and put it into a slightly easier to read and understand format. This would take many rereads. The hardest thing with Klosik is he's consistently emphasizing that, and he doesn't use the word ego, but that if you have an idea, you need to have it corroborated by others, so that it is not just an inflation of your imagination, is how he words it. All right, we're over 7 minutes, so I'll stop it there. Go camping, put your bare feet in the earth, watch the sunrise, obviously drink some bone broth, and turn your goddamn phone off, and you will live at least a happier life.